how many rows are there that doesn't contain the null values, right? Okay.
Yes.
Then,
Well, I understand.
yes. Okay. Then what, how we can remove? Up to this, we are just identifying these are the rows contains complete values. These are the rows that doesn't contain the complete value. But how can we remove the null value? This is our main point. So here we want to do for this, there are two processes, right? So let's consider the first one. Okay. So let's have a variable x is equal, we have to write which then within bracket, uh, one second, complete dot cases, within bracket we have to write the data set. Okay. So here then we have to print print function. Within that we have to write the variable. That means here this statement says what, that which are the rows that contain the actual values, and we are just storing those rows in a variable that is x. Now x will contains all the rows that have the actual values, and we want to print that. Okay, we want to print that. So whenever we will print, let, it will give that this one. Then again we have to write a variable, same variable we have to write, let it is x, and we are writing which which here not equal complete dot cases and the data set. That means here I want to display that which are the rows that doesn't contain the actual values, and we are putting all those rows in a variable that is x, same value, same variable we have to consider. Then I want to print this x. Okay, here up to this. Okay, this is, then we will do what, the now x contains all the rows that contains the null values. Now x contains all the rows that contains the complete values. Now x has both the values, null value and the complete value. Then we'll do what, we'll take another variable. Here I will assign AR, the data set AR quality, within square bracket, that is minus x and comma. Okay, minus x and comma. So here it will do what, then I have to print this x1, print x1. Let's see the result here. You can see that here this is the result. It is just showing that's removing the rows that contains the na values. Okay, so fifth and sixth row, 10th and 11th row, likewise the rows that containing the na values are now removed, and we are just given the rows that contains the complete values, and these are the values against the columns. Okay, so in this way we did what, we just used the negative index and we removed the removed the rows that contains the null values, and we got the values, that means the actual values against the rows against the variables. Okay, so in this way we can remove the na value and we display the actual one. Okay, run this.
Now I'm going to run it. I was just looking at
Okay,
the
okay,
format, so that I'll
okay,
run
okay,
it.
okay, okay. Okay, I'm just showing you the this code. First of all, you have to take the actual values coding, that is which within bracket complete the cases and the data set itself. You have to put the complete values in a variable that is x. You have to print that. Okay, then we will we will take the same variable x, and that will where we will put the null values. So what will the coding, which not equal complete the cases and the data set. Okay, so now x contains both null values, x contains both complete values. Then we have to do what, we are taking here negative index that we have studied in case of vector in R. the data set that is air quality, and here negative of index of x, that means we are removing the rows that contain the null values. Okay, and we'll put all the values, all the rows that contain the actual values in a variable x1, and whenever we will print x1 we can see that the rows with the na values are removed. Now we can get simply the actual values along with the variables. You have to take same variable to put the na values. You have to take same variable to put the complete values. Okay, so one variable will be considered for containing the null and the complete values. Do not use different values because we have to consider both, and we have to remove null values from that.
Okay. I've gotten it. I've gotten the
Okay.
same values. Well, I think we have been joined by two of my colleagues, Sylvester and then Yusuf.
Okay. 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 Okay, this was the question of Sylvester, right? So he was asking to just say that how can we remove the NA values?
Sylvester, are you audible?
Okay. Yusuf. Okay, Sylvester. Okay.
Yes, ma. Good morning.
Both of you? Yes. Okay. Good morning. Good afternoon. Okay.
Afternoon,
So
yes.
it's 3 o'clock IST. Okay. Good. Very good. So you both joined now, right?
Yes, ma.
Okay. Okay. Uh, do I need to explain it again from the beginning? No.
Mom,
Okay.
I'm okay, but for the purpose of them joining late, maybe you can run
Okay.
and
Okay.
then they'll see what we did so far.
Okay. Right. Okay. Another way, this is the first way to remove NA values, and there is another way to remove the NA values from the data set also. So let I am taking another variable that is y1, and y1 is equal na dot omit function, right? Na dot omit. This is na dot omit function, and within that you have to write the data set we have considered. So the data set is air quality here. Then just print y1. Okay, y1. So when you will press enter, you can see the same output here. That means this function is in now removed the rows that consists of the na values, and it is displaying the actual values along with the variables. Okay, so there are two ways by which you can remove the NA values from the data set. You can also find out how many rows are there that consists of actual values, and how many rows are there that consists of the null values. Okay, just run this and see that whether the same output is coming to for all. NA dot omit means we have to omit the NA values or null values present in a data set. Within bracket, you have to consider the data set upon which you want to do the if you want to do the analysis. Okay, you want to remove the NA values and you have to consider that data set only. Same output. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Uh, Let me give an overview that you can do also. See that we are here to remove the NA values present in a data set. So first of all, we have to identify the data set that consists of the NA value, right? So as we are working on the sample data set, you know how to get the data sets present in this R Studio or R programming language. So we have to use the function that is data function, data within bracket. Then whenever you will press control and enter, if you are writing that in the code editor, then you will just be given with the data sets along with their description, you know that. So then you want to choose the data set which consists of the NA values. So directly you can also just click on the data set, you can view one by one. Otherwise, if you know that these are the data sets that consists of the NA values, you can directly also view the columns along with the values of the data set. So as I know that whenever I will consider the sample data sets, the air quality is the data set that consists of the NA values. Okay. So I want to directly view the columns along with the values of this data set. So what will I write? So I can write the code in the console panel also, so that the output will be displayed in the code editor, right? So I will write the command that is view, where v is capital. So view command will display the data set, the values along with the variables. So view within bracket this air quality, this is the data set. So whenever I'm just clicking here or clicking enter, then this entire data set you can see in the code editor part, it is now displayed. And this data set consists of NA values. So many rows are there that consists of this NA value. You can also scroll down to see, right? So this is that we are confirmed now. This air quality is the data set that consists of the NA values. Now we want to work upon this data set so that we can know that how many rows are there that contains NA values, how many rows are there that doesn't contain the NA value, that will contain the actual values, right? So here we'll do what? If we want to see that in the entire data set how many rows are there and what are the NA values present in which row, and complete values present in which row. Complete value means actual value that is given, that means without any missing value, that I'm considering as the complete value, right? So you have to write the function complete dot cases. This is a function by which you can see the complete values along with the null values present, right? So we have to write complete dot cases within bracket. You have to mention the data set that you want to work upon. So whenever you will just run this code, run this line, you can get the number of logical value, that means number of true and false values. So here true says what? This is the first line that consists of the actual values. You can also see this is the first line that doesn't contain any null value. Second line is true, that means second line doesn't contain any null values. Likewise, third row, fourth row, fifth row. Here, fifth row is false. That means what? This is the fifth row that consists of two null values. So we cannot say it is true. It is false. And coming to the sixth row, this is also false. That means this is the sixth row that consists of one null value. So this is also false. Likewise, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10th is the row. You can see here, scroll down. 10th is the row that consists of a null value, so it is false. 11th also it consists of a null value, so it is also false. So you can also find out that these are the rows that consists of null value. These are the rows that consists of the actual values. So we can have a mix of the output by the function that is complete dot cases, right? So next, we are just finding out that actual the rows that contains the actual values. Okay, how can we find out? Complete dot cases means entire data set having the null value, having the actual values, it will be displayed. Okay, so if from the entire data set, from the null and the actual values, we want to find out what are the rows that consists of the complete values or the actual values. So here we can write which statement, and within that we have to write complete dot cases and the data set in between. So whenever you will just run this code, you can see that these are the lines, or these are the rows, or these are the tuples that consists of the actual values. You can see that fifth and sixth row, 10th and 11th row, that means the rows that are missing, that consists of the null values, and the rows that are present over here, these rows consists of the actual values. Okay, then the next statement was, how can we find out, or how can we identify the null values? That means the rows that consists of the null values. So for that, we have to write which statement within bracket not equal. That is not, is not equal, not complete cases. That means we have to display the row that doesn't contain the complete cases from this file or from the data set, that is air quality. So these are the output. That means these are the rows that consists of NA values. So 5, 6, 10th, 11th row, 25, 26th row. So these are the rows that consists of the NA values. Any of the NA value. That means that may contain single NA value, that may contains more than one value. That means there will be NA value present. Okay. So here. Then we are just discussing that how can we remove the NA values. Up to this we discussed that how can you find out the actual and NA values. That means the rows that consists of actual and NA values. Now we are here to remove the NA values. So there are two methods. So second method that I discussed right now, that NA dot omit method is there. Another simple method without using any function, we can see that we have to consider a variable. That variable should have both the NA values, both the rows containing the NA values and the rows containing the actual values. So we have to assign the NA values and we have to assign the actual values to a variable. Okay, then we have to apply the negative index to that variable, to omit, to remove the NA values. Okay, this is the process. How can you do that? We have to assign a variable. Same variable we have to consider for the NA values for the complete cases. So x is a variable where by writing this statement, we are assigning the actual values to the variable x. Okay. Now x consists of the actual values, because here not is not written. That means complete cases means the actual values are contained in variable x. So as we printed x here, we just received the rows that consists of the actual values. Then we have to do what? We have to do the same process, but here we'll write not. That means now the variable x, same variable. Okay, this variable x will have, will contain the NA values. So whenever we will print x, we'll get the output, that means the rows containing the NA values, right? So now x is such a variable that consists of both the NA value, both the actual values. Now we'll do what? We will take the data set, that is air quality. Within square bracket we have to write the negative index for x. That means we are writing minus x with comma. That means this statement will do what? It will just remove the negative value, that means NA values from the data set. Now it is x, and it will just correlate this x with air quality, so that the values that is present in the columns, the actual value that is present in the columns will be displayed, and that will be stored in variable x1. So whenever you will print x1, it will display you the values, the actual values present, just omitting the null values. Okay, so you can say that fifth and sixth row, those are the rows that consists of NA values. Now these rows are removed, and these are the actual values that are present along with the this variables, right? So this is also one of the process by which we can remove the NA values present in a data set. So up to this we have just discussed. Okay, let me know. Just run this and inform me that you are getting the same output, and also say that it is clear to all of you, so that we can proceed. Second method was na.omit, that we discussed right now. Na.omit, to omit the null values. Any doubt up to the this? Please, all of you, run the same coding and just try to understand all the lines and see that whether the every line that I told is understood properly or not. Let me show you. This was second method, that is na.omit. Getting me? Take the screenshot if you need, or if it is that means if it is okay, then you can also directly run the code. Okay, okay, no issue. See, this is one method, right? So another way, we just performed the NA operations on a file on this data set using one method, right? Few functions that we considered here: complete dot cases, etc. So without writing complete dot cases, that means there are so many ways to run a code. We cannot say there is a single way that this is the way we can run. There are so many ways, so many functions are there that they will provide the same output, or they will provide the same, they will do the same operation on the data set. So we should know that various methods are there in order to perform the execution on the data set. So I will now discuss that there is another way by which you have to consider the same data set, but using different functions you can also perform the various operations with the NA values present in the data set. So we are now here to do another way of doing the execution on the data set having the NA values, right? So everyone, just clear your console and clear the code editor here. So let I want to clear the console. This is Control L, right? So here another way. So I can find the data set, or I can just view the data set that consists of the NA values by the process, that is data within bracket. I want to write data within bracket. I have to write, let the data set is air quality. Same data set will consider air quality. Okay, then I have to write again this air quality. Then we'll select 2 and click on run. Okay. Though you can see in the console part, you are getting the output of this air quality data set consisting of the NA values. Okay, NA value. That means same output you will get. Then we have to find the missing values. In previous example, we were using the complete dot cases function to get the true and false values. That means we can there find out that these are the rows that consists of NA values. These are the rows that doesn't contain the NA values. So what is another way by which we can have the missing values? So that is called each dot NA. Okay, each dot NA. That means, is there any NA value available in the data set? So within the bracket, you have to write the data set, that is air quality. Then just press Control and enter. So you will get the same output of logical values true and false. Something is showing different. Okay. Matrix of true and false values. So true values say that actual values are there, and false values say that the NA values are there. So we can find out the missing values using each dot NA. And how can we find the, or how can we count the missing values here? We have to write sum function within bracket. Within bracket, you have to just write is dot na, is dot na, and we have to write the data set, that is air quality. Okay, just press Control enter. You will see that 44 na values are there. That means count the sum of the missing values. How can we find, or how can we omit the missing values? Same you have to take, that is na dot omit. Okay, and the data set is air quality. Just press Control enter. You will see that after removing the data set, after removing the na values, the entire data set is now displayed with the actual values. Then if we want to find, let we will consider a variable. We'll consider, let I am considering this say ocean variable. Okay, ocean variable, and I want to find the mean of the actual values that is present in the ocean variable by removing the na values. That means they see the operation by that we can perform on the data set if by removing the na values. So how we can find? We have to find the na value, mean value. So mean, then within bracket, you have to write the data set, that is air quality, and which variable you want to take. I want to take this ocean variable. So these are the variable that is being displayed, that is present in the air quality. So take this. Then I have to remove, because air quality contains the NA values along with the complete values. So I have to remove the NA values. So what will I write here? NA dot RM. Okay, RM means remove. Remove NA values. So the values I want to write, that is true. So what is the meaning of this statement? That find mean of the value that is present in the ocean variable in the data set air quality. And what is the condition? Just remove the na values. So how can we know that na value is removed? Because na.rm is written as true. So if it is false, that means na value will be present. So if it is true, na.rm is equal true, that means the na value is now removed. Okay, so here you can see that press Control and enter. You can see that the mean is 42.12. Okay. So by making the na.rm is equal false, let's see what is the mean value. So if we are not removing the na values, I want to find the mean without removing the na value, that is air quality, and let same variable I want to take, that is ocean here. Then press Control enter. What is the mean here? The mean is Na, because there are some values against this ocean variable present. So with the missing values, if we are finding the mean, we cannot get the proper outputs. We cannot get the mean. So that's why if we are just making na.rm is equal false. So if you are not writing anything, that means by default it is false. That means we are allowing the na values in the data set against this variable ocean. So if allowing the NA values, we are finding mean operation, we are performing median. If we are finding maximum, minimum values, so we cannot get properly. So the output will be NA. But if we are removing the NA values, so how can you do that? We can write NA.rm. This is a parameter and this is the value. So by removing this, if we are finding mean, we can get the mean of these values present against this ocean variable. Okay, Basir, you joined right now. Did you join right now?
No, ma'am, can't see anything. It's clear now. I can see it now.
Okay. What about others? Do I need to explain again? Okay, let's see. See, I am just explaining the another way of getting the NA values and another way of just omitting the NA values from the entire data set and how we can perform operations on the data set with the NA values and without the NA values. Okay. So first method I just explained, that is the second method, right? So I have, let me explain from the very beginning of this slide, right? So I want to find the data set that consists of this consists of NA values. So you can also search the data set by writing data function simply. Then in the code editor, you will be displayed with the data sets or the data files along with the description. Okay. So you can also click the data set and can see that which data set consists of NA values. Or if you directly know, you can directly also view. Then I know that air quality data set consists of NA values. So what will I do? So in the code editor, I will write a data function within bracket the data set that I want to display. I know that air quality consists of the NA values. So as I will write this air quality again and will select these both two and click and run, I can see that this is the air quality data set is being displayed here. You can see that in the fifth row, two NA values are there. Sixth row, single NA values are there, and other rows are there that consists of NA values. And there are few rows also that consists of the actual values. For example, row one consists of all the actual values. Row two consists of all the actual values. So likewise, it has how many observations? It has 153 observations with six variables. You can see that in the environment section it is now displayed that air quality data set consists of 153 observation with six variables. So here we can see, then we have to find the missing values. Previous example, we were taking complete dot cases. There it was displaying the true and false value, the logical values true and false, right? So in that case, if that is written true, that means the actual value is present. And if it isn't false, that means the actual value is not present. But here in this case, we are not using complete dot cases, we are using each dot na. That means whether na value is present in which data set, in AR quality data set. So whenever we'll just select and click on run, you can see that this matrix is now displayed with the variables and with the logical values. Here the output you can see that true and false values are now displayed, but the scenario is different. What is the scenario? In complete that cases, if you recall that for the true values, for the actual values, the value was true. Okay, but here in this case, for the actual values, the value is false. That means what is it is showing that whether AR quality this data set consists of NA values or not. It is saying that it is false. That means first value of ozon in this first row is false. That means this cell does not contain the Na value, because we are testing for whether Na is present. So this is saying false. That means the first value. This is the first cell, right? The first cell against this ocean variable contains the actual value. It doesn't contain the Na value, right? So this is the first cell of solar R is false. That means this does not contain the Na value, because we are testing that whether Na is present. This is saying false. That means no, it is Na is not present. This is the actual value. We can also verify here. This is the actual value. This is not the Na value. But here in the fifth row, this is Na value. We are looking what whether Na present. That means here yes, Na is present. That means here it will be true. So let's see true is present or not. Yes, in the fifth, this is true. That means here Na is present. We are looking whether Na present. It is saying true. That means yes, Na is present in this cell. Okay. Up to this, I'm clear. Am I clear up to this? Basir, is he here or not? Okay. Yusuf. Okay, Yusuf. Okay, everyone is clear. Those who are present here, are you getting me that why it is true and false? In complete cases, the scenario are different. Okay, complete cases means whether true value is present. Complete cases means whether Na is present. Complete cases it is false. But here we are asking whether Na is present. If it is yes, that means Na is present. So that will be true. So here true means Na value is present. False means actual value is present. Okay. So we can also find the sum. We can also find the sum using the sum function and with writing this statement. So it will give the total of the sum. Then we can also omit the NA values from this data set. Okay. So NA dot omit, that means omit the NA values from the data set. So it will just show you by omitting the NA values. Okay. So this is the example. This is the output. By omitting the NA values, it is displaying the output. Then we have to find out the mean of the variable that is ozon with the Na values. If we are not writing anything, that means Na.rm is false. That means do not Na.rm is equal false means do not remove the Na value. If Na.rm is true, it means remove the Na value. So if we do not remove the Na value, how can we get the mean? We cannot get the mean here. So Na, so mean is also Na. That means we are not able to calculate the mean if the data set or if the variable of which we want to find out the mean consists of Na values. But if we are removing the Na value, Na.rm is equal to rm means remove. Remove the null value and find out the mean of the values present against this ozon variable of the data set AR quality. So whenever we will find the mean, it will give us value 42.12 something, right? So this is okay. Any doubt up to this?
No doubt.
Okay, okay. Okay, so in today's session, I am very clear to everyone. So it does just discussed that how can we remove the NA values? How can we find out the number of missing values, missing rows, that missing values present in the row and the actual values present in the row, and how can we find out the various operations on the data set having the NA values and by removing the NA values. So we just discussed two ways of doing all those things. Okay. So I think up to this, I'm very clear to everyone. And let's stop the session and we'll meet tomorrow. So class was from 2 to 3:38 for today, right? Sure. Any doubt, anything want to ask me? O-
More from my side, I'm clear with everything, and
Okay,
there's no doubt.
okay. Okay, Mohammed, thank you so much. Yeshub, Silvester, Saibu. Okay, so no issue. Just enjoy your weekend and let's stop the session and we'll meet tomorrow at 4 to 5:30. Okay. So right. So all of you just do the same execution at home at your free time and we'll just meet tomorrow with a interesting session. Okay. So thank you everyone. Thanks for giving me your valuable time